All right, welcome everyone. We're here with Jen and Andrea from Memorial University, and I'm going to pass it over to them so they can deliver their presentation.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. It's really nice to have you here today to learn about Memorial University. So I just want to start with a brief introduction. My name is Andrea. So I am actually a MUN alumni. I have 3 undergraduate degrees from the university, first being my Bachelor of Arts with a double major in French and History. And then I also have a Bachelor of Education, Intermediate Secondary. And then I taught for a few years before going into special education. And now I'm a student recruiter at the university, as I started in July with my counterpart, Jen. So Jen, would you like to introduce yourself before we start the presentation?
Sure. My name is Jen. As Andrea said, I've been at MUN for quite a while. I started my undergrad at MUN back in 2012. From there, I did a master's at MUN as well in gender studies. From there, I actually became an employee at the Accessibility Services office, and then I transitioned to the online learning office, and now I'm over in student recruitment. So I've made kind of a couple moves around the university, so I have a lot of information to be able to share with you out of those experiences.
So I just want to get you started by providing a little bit of information and background about Memorial University. The university was founded in 1925. And I wonder if some people just sort of think, why is it called Memorial University? Well, it's because it is a memorial. It's a memorial to those who served in World War II and World War I. So we originally started with World War I, but we redirected to include those in World War II as well. And we're actually the only university in the world that was created as a memorial. So our university is in Newfoundland, and we have a special responsibility to the people in this province to deliver a high quality education because we are the only university in this province. So before we start and provide a little bit more information, I do want to start with a land acknowledgement because we're really thankful to share this land with many people, including our Indigenous communities. So we just want to respectfully acknowledge the territory in which we gather as the ancestral homelands of the Beothuk and the island of Newfoundland as the ancestral homeland of the Mi'kmaq and the Beothuk. We would also like to recognize the Inuit of Nunatsiavut and Nunatsiavut and Innu of Nitasan and their ancestors as the original people of Labrador. We strive for respectful relationships with all the peoples of this province as we search for collective healing and true reconciliation and honor this beautiful land together. So these are our updated numbers for Memorial University. We actually have 5 campuses. 4 are in Newfoundland and Labrador, and 1 is actually in the United Kingdom. So we have a campus in the UK called Harlow, and we will kind of touch on that a little bit later, but I'll leave it there as just as a fun fact so that way you guys can think about it. Our main campus is the St. John's campus because that's where we house the majority of our students. So about 16,000 of our students are actually there at the St. John's campus. But we do also have another campus in St. John's called the Marine Institute. We have a campus in Corner Brook called the Grenfell campus. And then we also have a graduate campus on Signal Hill, so the famous Signal Hill. We have over 300 plus programs available for you guys to learn and explore. So it's hard to go over all 300 programs, but we will do our best here today because we have certificates, diplomas, undergraduate degrees, graduate degrees, PhDs. There's just so many options here. And even though we have so many programs and we have over 19,000 students as our population for all our campuses, we still have a really low student to faculty ratio. It's about 16-1. And where do our students come from? So we are Newfoundland and Labrador, so the majority of our students do come from Newfoundland, but we are growing as an international and a domestic university as well. So domestically and nationally across this country, we have about 14% of our population comes from other provinces and territories here in Canada. And then 19% of our population is actually international students. So we represent over 115 countries, and we're very proud of that. because besides all these great numbers I'm showing in front of you, we really are a community. And it's really a great way to meet new people and explore new cultures and just really have an opportunity to really get an education that is culturally diverse. And at MUN, we're all about choice. So we have so many options. We have our academic career counseling center that can help you find your way while you're navigating your options. And there's just so many opportunities that Newfoundland and our university can offer you. We're among the top comprehensive universities in the country, which means that we have a lot of high quality research coming from our faculty and our students. And we have this unique opportunity, even at the undergraduate level, that students can participate in these research opportunities. Even if you go on our MUN website, you can see on the front page, there's always something there from the Gazette, which is our local newspaper for the university, talking about the research that's going on on our campuses. So you can access these through internships and MUSIPs and grant funding. There's just so many availabilities here and options at the university. We also have state-of-the-art facilities and equipment. So we're very lucky. We have the Queen Elizabeth II Library, which is the largest research collection east of Montreal, over 2 million titles, online resources, tutoring. There's so many opportunities there, and that's just in the library itself. We also have a new building. It's called our Core Science Facility. I don't know if you guys have seen pictures that have come up. There's actually a large skeleton there in the main lobby because unfortunately it was one of the whales that washed up a couple of years ago on our shores. But we wanted to highlight the importance of our connection to the sea. So we have it hosted in our Core Science Facility. So just to show you a little bit of where we are, just in case you don't know where Newfoundland and Labrador is, we're the most easterly province in the country. We're actually in St. John's. So that's a little dot, the most eastern dot there, St. John's, Newfoundland. We're the most eastern city in North America. So you can go to the most easterly point, which is at Cape Spear, and we are surrounded by the sea here in Newfoundland. Labrador is a big coastal community, which is also attached to Quebec, and you can explore that part of our province. We have this, even though we're not physically connected, we are very much connected. So if you're looking at the St. John's campus, we are situated in St. John's, Newfoundland, and these are some of the famous shots. So you can see our Narrows, which is also called the Battery, because that is the Narrow as you come into our St. John's Port. It's very colorful and vibrant. We also have our downtown. So downtown features a lot of music and culture and art. It's a very vibrant place to live. And of course, up on the top right-hand corner, you can see that picture. That is Signal Hill. So that's where the single came from with Marconi when he was trying to do the transatlantic single across the ocean. So we have a lot of history. We are part of the history and we celebrate it. And St. John's campus is only a 5-minute walk from our beautiful downtown. As you can see here in the picture, this is actually our new residence there. That's McPherson. We're very proud. It's a great place to stay. It's for first-year students. And we're very much connected to our city because we're right in the center of it. So now we have an idea of where we are located. I sort of want to give you an idea of what we look like on the inside. Here are some examples of our classrooms and lecture halls. So you remember how we said we had over 19,000 students? Well, in our first year classes, these are our bigger classes. On average, there's about 60 students in each of these classes. And it's great. It's a great opportunity because it means it's a little bit smaller. And as you move up in your degree, the classes actually get smaller and you have more one-on-one time with your professors and your instructors and your TAs. So these are just an example of some of our classrooms. We have lectures halls. We also have smaller classrooms that probably look a little bit more familiar to those that are currently in school and high school. And then we have more of your traditional lecture hall settings. And they're very high-tech facilities. And some of them, they actually have recorded sessions. So you may not even need to enter the lecture hall if you don't want to, depending on what program or what courses you're choosing. You could actually do it online. Now let's dive a little bit into our areas of study. I want to start with our direct entry programs, which we can actually divide into two separate categories, because we have direct entry programs which are called our general admission programs. So you only need to meet our general admission criteria to be eligible to apply to these programs. We do, of course, have competitive programs as well, and I will go over them as we go a little further into these areas of study. And if you're looking at the view book around page 20, that's where you're going to find these general admissions. I realize there might be a little bit of delay on your screen, so I just want to give a little bit of a pause to let the screen catch up just in case. So I want to talk first of all about our business program. So this is a general admission entry program. So as long as you meet our general admission criteria to the university, you can apply to what is called Business 1. So Business 1 is your first year of courses for the business program. If you uphold the 65% average for all your courses, then you can apply to continue into our business programs, where you can pick between the Commerce program and the Commerce Co-op program. So recently, we actually upgraded our Bachelor of Business Administration to the Bachelor of Commerce program, which is now more comprehensive and has adapted to the change in times. So students are really requesting for our programs to be updated, and we wanted to provide this for students. So it's now called the Bachelor of Commerce instead of the BBA. But it's the same great program that you know, but with better updates and different courses and more opportunities. If we move over to our humanities and social sciences, it will be impossible to go through all our departments and majors, as we have 26 different majors, or what we call focus areas. So when you are part of the humanities and social science faculty, you have to pick a major and a minor. My major, I started with a history major, but I ended up having a double major in history and French. And it changes, and you're perfectly welcome to change and change your mind and explore different programs, because that's why they're there for you. Recently, we had an update. We no longer have police studies. We've updated to called criminology. And this is to reflect the change in the criminology sector, as there are more than just people who want to be police officers to do these programs. And that actually comes as a major for a bachelor, but also as a certificate in criminology as well, if you're interested in looking at that. We have so many major programs: folklore, gender studies, law and society, linguistics, and we have 4 modern languages: French, Spanish, Italian, and German. And of course, there's many more. I really highly recommend that you explore these programs if you're interested in doing humanities or social sciences. Now, for our sciences, we have so many as well. There are 20 specialty areas. This is one of those programs where you don't need to do a minor if you don't want to. Some people still decide to do a minor, but it's because these programs are so comprehensive. So it can range from anything from behavioral neuroscience to biology or biochem. Computer science, which our computer science program has become really worldwidely known and is competitive to get into. So once you do your first year courses for computer science, then you have to apply into the program. And of course, our famous ocean sciences. Our Ocean Science Center is very unique. You can actually do courses off the main campus and study with seals, for example. So we have so many interesting programs and research opportunities going on in the science department. Now, to move on into our competitive direct entry programs. So like I said before, you can directly enter into these programs, but it is important to remember that they are competitive. So high school applicants can apply directly into our nursing program if they meet our nursing requirements. So we've also added what's called the Casper test. And the Casper test is an ethical test. It's just to measure your ethical reaction to different situations. As you guys can imagine, this is very important during this time and to be able to make these ethical decisions as a nurse. So I would like to point out as well that although you can apply outside of high school, I'd say only about 20%, give or take a couple percentage points, actually enter into the nursing program directly out of high school. It is competitive. Many people actually come and do first-year courses here at Memorial University before applying to the nursing program. And this seems to meet their needs very well because they have an idea of what to expect when they get in the program. You can also start poking away at a couple of courses before you get in there. So for example, doing that stats course that some people tend to dread, it's a good time to do that before you get in the program. Then we have our engineering program. So the engineering, students will apply to what's called Engineering 1, very much like business. So business, they have Business 1, engineering has Engineering 1. And you finish off your fall, winter semester, then you apply for a major program. We have 6 major programs within the Faculty of Engineering: civil, computer, electrical, mechanical, ocean and naval architectural, and process engineering. There's so many options here and they can go in many different directions. So it will give you this foundational knowledge in Engineering 1, and then you apply. And if you get accepted into your major program, you continue on the path that you wish to proceed. We also have our HKR program. There are 4 options: kinesiology, physical education, and recreation, or Bachelor of Human Kinetics and Recreation. So that is actually a cooperative program, which means that you get to do work term internships. And you got the ability to choose between these multiple pathways. And it really is experiential learning. So it's hands-on. And then, of course, we have our music program. So it's one of Canada's leading music schools. The Bachelor of Music and joint Bachelor of Music, Bachelor of Commerce programs are competitive, and they do require that you do auditions to get into these programs. And of course, when you get into the Bachelor of Music program, you have the opportunity to study at the Harlow campus in the UK, which we will show some pictures later on in this presentation. Now, once you're done these programs and you're looking into other options, so maybe you want to continue on and do an education degree, we have many second degree programs in education. We do have some first degree options for education, such as our primary elementary program. However, you do need to complete a full year of courses before you apply for the primary elementary first degree program, as they want to make sure you have your foundational knowledge before getting into the education program. Many other of these options are second degree programs. So I did an intermediate secondary degree, and that was my second degree option. And it's a 1-year program, and it's comprehensive, and you get to do co-op with teachers, not just in Newfoundland. If you want to study back in your own home province, that is an option that you can take on. If you want to go back to your high school and be an intern at your high school, you can definitely do it. I did it, and it was a lot of fun going back and teaching with my high school teachers. We also have social work. Social work is available as a first degree. However, it's the same thing where there are courses that need to be completed before you apply for the program. One course in particular, Social Work 1710, has to be completed at MON before you go on to the degree program. We also have pharmacy and medicine. I highly recommend that you guys look at these programs if you're interested in them. Again, they're not programs that you can directly apply into because there's courses that you have to do beforehand, but it's a really good idea if you're interested in these programs to reach out to us and we can get you these information for you. Something we added this year because we wanted to highlight this. So have you ever thought that you would like to do a Bachelor of Arts and a Bachelor of Science at the same time? You can actually do this. These are called joint degrees. So generally, when you apply, you're not going to apply to a joint degree. Okay, it's not available on the application. But what you can do is that once you've completed some courses and you decide, I can't make a choice between a Bachelor of Arts and a Bachelor of Science, I want to do both. That's when you can go to your faculty and say, okay, I want to apply for both. I want to do a joint degree. So you're going to meet the requirements for a Bachelor of Arts and a Bachelor of Science simultaneously. Now, you will have to do more courses. However, you can do the 2 degrees simultaneously, and you're not required to do a minor if you end up doing a joint degree. So careful planning, of course, such as any program, is crucial to ensure that you finish in a timely manner when you want to complete. So we have 3 options. We have Bachelor of Arts with a Bachelor of Science. Then we have the Bachelor of Commerce with the Bachelor of Music, as I said earlier, and the Bachelor of Commerce, the co-op option, and a Bachelor of Arts. So you have the opportunity to do the co-op while doing a Bachelor of Arts degree at the same time. So it's really just that you can explore, you can really pick and choose what you want to do. We really encourage you to do that. And you can change your mind. If you decide that you've entered into a program and you're not really comfortable with it, or it's not the direction that you thought you were going to go in, you can change your mind. And we're happy to help you along that way. So I want to talk to you a little bit about our other campuses before handing the ball over to Jen, because she's going to go through the admission requirements and other information related to campus. So our Marine Institute, if we were just panned off a little bit to the side, you'd actually be able to see Memorial University there because it's only about 5 minutes up the road. So Marine Institute is in St. John's, and students not only have access to all the facilities and services at Marine Institute, but also those offered at the St. John's campus. So that includes the recreation facilities, student residents, doctors, counselors, everything's available to you. Marine Institute also has facilities around the province, including training locations in Stephenville and Holyrood. If you're from Newfoundland, you probably know exactly where that is, but that's about an hour and a half outside of the province, outside of St. John's. This is widely regarded as Canada's top comprehensive center for education, training, and applied research in ocean industries. So there's more than 200 programs here and technical certificates. So generally, when you do a technical certificate here, you can have the option to go on to an undergraduate degree afterwards. So all programs offered at Marine Institute in St. John's, with the exception to the fire rescue program. And all programs also commence in September of each year. Marine Institute is really loved dearly, not only for its Fridays fish and chips, but also for the small class sizes and the excellent support that students receive from instructors and faculty. If you're interested more about the fish and chips, it is world famous because people like to go here just for the fish and chips. Pre-COVID times, you're able to go in and get it on a Friday. And many Marine Institute graduates find meaningful careers afterwards. And sometimes students find careers after they finish their diploma or technical certificate and then don't bother to do the bachelor's degree until years down the road. And that's totally up to you if you would like to do that. Now, we looked at the Marine Institute. I have to look at Grenfell campus. If this picture is up on your screen already, you're going to see it's beautiful. Grenfell campus is in Corner Brook, which is on the west coast of the island. So it's about 15 minutes away from Marble Mountain and 60 minutes away from Grossmore National Park. Grossmore National Park is our biggest national park here in the province, and it's beautifully created, by nature. And we really try to protect that because we have this beautiful nature that's surrounding this province, and you really have to see it to believe it. Looking at pictures doesn't do its justice. So at Grenfell campus, I really want to highlight 2 particular programs. It's our Bachelor of Fine Arts and our Bachelor of Visual Arts, because they are unique to Grenfell campus. You cannot do these programs at any other of our campuses. It's a blend of programs, exhibits, stage productions, performances, facilities, and resources that will unearth your full potential and enrich your cultural life. A BFA prepares students for a range of career options. Many of our graduates become professional artists or actors. And others have become teachers, arts, administrators, lawyers, business owners. Really, the option is up to you. I highly recommend that you go see their site, look at their view book, because they have a lot of options. And for students who wish to know a little bit more about Grenfell, you can email the recruitment office, but many times students from rural communities in Newfoundland will actually go to Grenfell for their first year, because those first year courses are transferable to St. John's campus. So you could complete the first year of your program before even getting to St. John's, if that is what you would like to do, if you're not interested in the fine arts or visual arts programs. Of course, there's direct entry programs, and then there's also competitive programs. So I highly recommend visiting their sites and seeing what they have to offer, because it might be exactly what you need. This is our halfway point. Usually we ask for if there's any questions. I'm going to say let's hold off on the questions because we have about 15 minutes left for our presentation. Jen's going to take over from here. She's going to talk about student life, admissions, scholarships, any important dates that you will need to know. So I'm going to stop sharing my slides here because she's going to pick it up.
I do see that a lot of the questions that are here in the queue at the moment will be addressed in the second half of the presentation, and if not, we will address them at the end. All right. Does that look good there, Andrea? Excellent. All right. Oops. All right, so as Andrea said, I'm going to be speaking about student life. Student life here on campus looks a lot like a lot of choices, honestly. And these choices extend beyond the classroom. So that's everything from programming, workshops, student societies, student-built organizations that are both extracurricular as well as relating to academics, sports, you name it, we have it. And if we don't have it, you can always create it. So we do have that space to be able to do what you want to do on campus, outside and inside of academics. Just as a general outline, you can be successful through academic advising, student help centers, career development, health and wellness services, learning accommodations, and student-run centers. So I'm going to speak very briefly about each of these things. For our academic advising, we have this here in place so that you can plan your academic future, both long-term and short-term. These advisors will help you create a degree plan for what courses, if you want to change a program, if you're looking at going into a non-direct entry program, so you want to set yourself up for success later. They have all that information to help you build your knowledge and your ability to go in and do those programs. Our academic help centers, we have about 13 of those on campus, and they will help support you for a variety of subject areas. These help centers are often peer support centers, and the folks that are availing of these services are oftentimes looking for tutoring or just general support from other students who are in the same position as them. Career development can help you plan for future careers as well as careers while you're in school. We have what's called the MUSEP program, which is on-campus work, as well as a variety of other work opportunities depending on the program you're in, or if you choose to do co-op. The career development there is there to help you with your resume, for advising, literally anything that you can think of in relation to your career, they got it there for you. For health and wellness, we do have both counseling and medical services offered on campus. This is very comprehensive and is we really strive to try to reduce the stigma around health and wellness, both physical and mental health on campus, by uniting our centers together. So you go to one place for both of those services. We have counselors, support groups, and even workshops on anxiety, body acceptance, and time management. A big thing for me is to explain is the learning accommodations. We have our accessibility center on campus where I used to work. Um, we help all kinds of students, whether it be general accessibility to the whole campus, as well as accommodations in relation to your course, or test accommodations if you require any additional time, standing desks, any classroom support, any technology that you might require for success. We are there to help. We also have a bunch of student-run centers, and that would look like the Indigenous Student Resource Center, the Mon-Sexual and Gender Advocacy Group, and Intersections, which is a resource center for marginalized genders. So we have lots of variety of centers for you that you can join, be a part of, volunteer with, all that jazz. So you can gain experience through a variety of ways by studying abroad, doing your undergrad research, volunteering, on-campus jobs, students associations and clubs, co-op partnerships, internships, and placements, as I kind of had discussed previously. We also have the Go Abroad programs. So you can do exchanges, faculty abroad programs, which are specific to your faculty, a variety of work experiences in other countries, co-op placements for your academic program, and the IBA, which is the International Bachelor of Arts. These opportunities take place in over 40 different countries at 100 different, up to 100 different institutions. They can definitely help you get out into the community more, build competencies outside of the classroom, and allows you to explore everywhere outside of campus as well. As Andrea had mentioned earlier, we do also have the Harlow campus. The Harlow campus is in the UK. We're one of the only 2 Canadian universities that have a campus in the UK. This offers a opportunity to explore abroad on another campus while continuing your studies. As I had previously mentioned, we have lots of opportunities to stay active on campus. We have varsity sports, club teams, intramural sports, fitness facilities. Our fitness facility is called The Works, which includes the Ocarina and the Field House. We have a variety of different activities that take place in these spaces, including fitness, aquatic clubs, leisure activities, running, and sport support groups. Our varsity sports include soccer, basketball, volleyball, cross country, curling, track, and swimming and wrestling. And our intramural sports are both, you can be a part of them both through the Works, but you can also be part of it through residence, which we will discuss later. So for undergraduate admissions, for admissions to both St. John's and Grenfell campus, you'll need an overall average of 70% in your senior high level areas or grade 12 levels. In English, mathematics, laboratory science, social science, or modern classical language, and electives. You'll need one from each of those categories to meet the admission requirement, depending on the program of choice. And if the program is direct entry, for example, some of these might be able to be substituted, but only one of them, and it is not able to be English. So there is a little bit more flexibility in this. So I encourage you to check out the admission requirements specifically for your country or for your province, as they are a little bit different. It can be found on our www.mun.ca/undergrad page. You can find all those details there. We also have AP and IB transfer credits. So if that applies to you, I would recommend checking out the information for those programs. So I did see a lot of questions in the chat here earlier relating to on-campus housing. We do have guaranteed first-year housing as long as you apply before the deadline, and that is the asterisk there. We have a variety of choice in residence building styles. We have what you see here actually is our new res, as Andrea was saying earlier. But if you look a little bit further back, there's a building with a green roof there. That is another residence building there. That one is in a group of residents called Peyton College. And the angle that you're taking the photo from here actually is near the Burtons Pond apartments. That's actually where I used to live when I first moved to Munn. And actually, completely unrelated, but somewhat related, is the angle that this photo is being taken at. I actually proposed to my wife right about here, so it is an excellent view, lovely space. I do recommend it. So the option that you see right here in front of you is the McPherson College. It is the suite style, which means that there is 2 rooms per suite that has a common shared bathroom and shower area. This building offers a variety of different services like laundry and a laundry space, as well as common areas. There's a lot of community supports and academic assistants who are there for you, as well as RAs. That is the case across all of our residence buildings. It's not unique to this one. We also have the Peyton College, which is your traditional, more dorm style residence, which is often a single room or a double room, which you would have a roommate, and it is just that single room space with washrooms on each floor. Our Burtons Pond apartments are apartment style with 4 rooms per apartment. That is a little bit different now during COVID. I believe they might have had a couple of changes in relation to density per the apartments, but typically it is 4, and that is a shared kitchen space and bathroom space amongst the 4 individual rooms. So as I had described, here's the layout of each of these rooms. The Burtons Pond, you'll see the 4 rooms there, as well as the kitchen, washroom, and hallway. Peyton College, you have your single double setup, and with McPherson, you have your suite set up there. Dining hall. So this is pretty important for especially first-year students who are looking at going into residence. You don't have to be in residence to get a meal plan, but this is where you would go to eat. If you're looking at Peyton College and McPherson, those residence styles do require you to have a meal plan, because there isn't a way for you to cook your food entirely on your own. So just to make sure that you're well cared for, we do have some really great meal plan options. Dining hall is just down the way from most of the reses. Actually, Peyton College is almost completely surrounding meal hall, while the McPherson is actually connected through the tunnel system to meal hall. And as I said, we have a tunnel system here on campus. We call it the Munnels. These Munnels run pretty much entirely across campus, as you can see, connecting almost every single set of buildings. The really handy thing is if you live in res, for example, especially Peyton College or or McPherson. Oftentimes we see students around wearing such comfy clothes that are uncharacteristic of the weather outside, because they're able to just walk from res right into their class without needing to put on a jacket even. So, of course, very importantly, we have many scholarships. Our entrance scholarships and our scholarship standing based scholarships, which are faculty based. The entrance scholarships are automatically assessed upon your application. You don't need to submit any additional information, and you'll be automatically considered for those scholarships. So here is our information. Our deadline to apply is March 1st for the fall application period for both St. John's and Grenfell campus. Marine Institute is April 15th. You can go to apply.mon.ca for more information. Please note that our competitive programs do have a few different deadlines. I'd encourage you to check out the deadline information page for that information. And I'm just going to take a moment and leave you on this screen. This is a QR code to our inquiry page. If you fill out our inquiry page, we'll be able to best assist you if you have any further questions that weren't addressed here in the presentation today. If you have any thoughts at all, send it to us or connect with us on social media. All of our social links are here. That information is also directly linked to our booths. So I encourage you to check us out however you can. All right. Do we have any? I know we don't have a ton of time left. Do we have any questions that are looking like we have not already addressed them in the presentation there, Andrea?
Yeah, I was just going through. There's still questions about housing. So
Okay.
The cost for housing is not included in the tuition, but there is a breakdown on the website, and I highly recommend that you go look at it because it will break down what a cost is for the meal plan and such.
I can link to that right now.
Mm-hmm. Let me go through. So, part-time jobs. There are part-time jobs on campus. And you can get part-time jobs off campus if you wish. That's what I did when I was in university. I actually worked at a farm when I was in university, but I also did get an on-campus job at our botanical gardens, which I really enjoyed. So there are options for that. There's some called MUSAPs. Those are for undergraduate students, but then we also have programs as well for international students, and then also for graduate students. So it really depends on what you are looking for. You can also talk to professors. They may have research assistant positions available for you.
Ooh, I see a really fun one here. How long does it take to get to one class through the Munnels? It depends on the class and from where what building you're traveling from into. The campus is fairly large, so from one end to the other, if you're traveling the furthest distance, it's about 15 minutes just to go straight through the tunnels, which is pretty quick seeing that oftentimes you can kind of schedule classes to be about half an hour apart, so you can usually get there pretty quickly. If you're in a hurry, you could probably do it in 10 minutes. I've seen a few people do it in 10, which is pretty much the exact amount of time if you're on the opposite ends. If your courses are in the same building, it honestly could just take you like 30 seconds up the hall.
I also see a question there about entrance scholarships. We do have entrance scholarships for Canadian and international students. You're actually considered for these entrance scholarships upon application. So you do not need to apply for these scholarships whatsoever. There are other scholarships that you can apply for naturally, but that you can look at on our webpage. But as you get into your faculty or program, there are even more scholarships available. So you reach out to your faculty and you can apply for other ones after you finish your first year programs.
There's a question here that's, do you know others in housing, can you all be placed together? Yes, you can, on your residence application, if you know other people that are also going to MUN who are also in residence, as part of your application, when you're picking your rooms, you're actually able to pick your rooms with the people that you know. That's actually just built into the system that they have for residents.
I see a question there about if it's just based on grades, if admittance is just based on grades. For our general entry, yes, it is grades based. And if you were looking for a scholarship, generally you need to have an average over 90% to get an entrance scholarship. However, if you're applying for certain programs, such as social work, they're also looking at your experience, not necessarily volunteer experience, could also be work experience, but they need to see that you have experience in the community in this field. So it really depends on the program you're looking at, but for general admittance, it's just grade based.
All right, let's do, I see that we're at pretty much time here, but I do see one other important question in here that just came in. And it says, if English isn't your first language, do you have to do an English fluency test? Yes, it is a possibility that you would have to do an English fluency test, depending on a few other requirements. So we do have a page on our website that addresses the English fluency requirements. The English proficiency requirements is what it would be labeled as on our website. There are 5 requirements, but you just have to fill one of them. If you do not fill the first 4 requirements, you are able to, as the 5th requirement, complete a English test. We have a list of those English tests available there as well, and what the minimum score is for general admission.
Do we have much time left to answer questions?
I'd say you can take a couple more, but not too much time left.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. I noticed there are a couple questions there regarding early admission. So early admission really is only for high school students, because when you apply, you're not finished your high school. So they will accept you based on your grades at that time. So you will send in your term grades for up to that point, because application for fall, for example, fall 2022, application closes March 1st. You probably won't graduate from high school until June. So they'll get your grades at that point forward, and that's what you'll be admitted on. However, you will be required to submit your final transcript, and then it will be reviewed for your final admission and official acceptance to the university. Computer science. Yes, we do have a computer science program. I highly recommend that you check it out. It is competitive. And we mostly have 4-year programs. Okay, so I see some questions there. How long are your programs? Generally 4. Now, I changed my mind so many times. It took me 5 years. So it's really up to you on how long it takes. I also didn't do any courses over the summer. I liked having my summers off, and I did work over the summer to help pay for my education.
Computer science can be done as a BA or a BSc, so you actually have an option to do it either, which is interesting. But you are not able to apply directly into computer science. This is, they want you to be able to fill in the requirements because it is a competitive program. So you would apply into a general BA or a general BSc and then fill those requirements and then apply into the major program of computer science. So that is important to note.
Also, before we leave, I just want to mention too, we do have a virtual open house coming up in November, the 15th, 16th, and the 17th. It's in the evenings, so anyone can attend. If you register for the event and attend one of the events, you can win a $500 tuition voucher in Canadian dollars. So I highly recommend that you check it out, because if you have any specific program questions, you can go live in there, and then you can ask those questions to members of faculty and students, because we'll have student and faculty representatives there to answer your questions and tell you all about the programs individually.
All right, I think that's a wrap.
Yeah.